All right, all right, all right. You are in for a super duper treat today with our incredible guest, Caleb Kowalczyk. So buckle up, buckle in, turn off the distractions. You will not want to miss what he's about to share. Uncommon results, but anyone can do it. That's the great part. What you're about to hear is super exciting and might seem radical to you because you've not heard this story, people that you know of getting these results, especially as quickly and at his young of an age. But when you have the right process and you take steps and you're coachable and teachable, you can achieve incredible things, stepping into your dreams, beyond your dreams, and having greater impact on people's lives around you than maybe you've ever before imagined. So we want to introduce Caleb to you before he comes on and just rocks your world with some powerful information to equip you to move forward in powerful ways. But the whole purpose of this channel, of this episode, is to help you step into greater realms of freedom and abundance in your life, in every area of life. And so you're going to hear about specifically financially today in this session. But Caleb, at 20 years old, already acquired two different deals, which were 10 different properties in two deals, off-market properties, totaling 45 turnkey rental units with $0 out of his pocket, none of his own credit, stepped into that in 2 months of learning what he learned in the process called collaborative leveraging, and as a 50% owner. So he stepped into a 50% ownership position on those 45 rentals, which equates to about, conservatively, multiple six figures worth of equity, instant equity in the properties, plus the cash overflow from the income that was already being produced. So to say that's life changing is an understatement. It's legacy creating beyond just him, but his family, his future family, all of that by these income producing assets that he stepped into ownership in. And now he's just going to continue to multiply from there. But so much more we could say about this incredible young man who now is 21, but he was 20 when he acquired these properties. He's going to tell you how he did it. But before we do, babe, anything you want to share about Caleb and why we're so excited to have him on the segment today?
Well, yeah, the best part is that Caleb isn't just sharing his story so that you can say, wow, that's amazing what he was able to accomplish at such a young age, change the trajectory of his life and his future. But the best part is that he's going to be sharing those key steps, those key shifts, the mindset shifts, all the shifts that he made to take him to where he is now. And I'm telling you, he's just getting started. We'll definitely be sharing more of that, but we want to jump right in. Caleb, thank you so much for being with us. Will you start us off with a little bit of your story, your background, and anything you want to share on just leading up to who you are today?
Yeah, of course. Well, first off, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. But yeah, so I started in real estate very quickly after I graduated from high school. Growing up, I was always told, go to college, go to college, go to college. And about a month before college, before I was going to graduate from high school, I had committed to go to Penn State here in Pennsylvania. And I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I was told that I had to go. So I signed up, and roughly 2 weeks before the school year started, I decided, you know what? College isn't for me. There's something better for me. And my parents had invested in themselves and gotten mentorship in real estate. And I knew, and I quickly spent time with them and realized, wow, this is for me. I had such a huge passion in my life to impact others around me, the community around me, the world, my family, generations to come. And I knew that could only happen through real estate and growing my wealth. And that could not happen through a 9 to 5. So I grew up, my family was somewhat in real estate. They dabbled. My father's a pastor, my mom was a nurse. And thankfully now they're stepped out and they are living their full life in real estate, which is so awesome. And I am there too now. And I'm just so blessed to be able to share what I've learned through collaborative leveraging. And hopefully you will take those steps and step into a life of financial and time freedom.
Man, it's so exciting just not only seeing what already you've done, but I think one of the big takeaways, if you're listening to this right now, realize it doesn't matter your age, right? So if you're 10 years old, if you're 16, 18, 25, maybe you're a parent who have children Caleb's age that you would love to equip them to step into living their life full time and living a life of no limits, their greatest passions and purposes. Or maybe you're whatever age you are, it doesn't matter because the process performs itself, right? So just being coachable and teachable. And so tell us a little bit about that. Hit on your results real quick. I know we mentioned it in the introduction, but you can just give people a picture of what your results have been already in such a short amount of time, real estate related, and then we'll get into the key steps that you'll share with everyone on how you actually have generated such life-changing incredible success in such a short amount of time. But so what are those results? I know we kind of hit on it, but just so everybody has a clear picture of what results you've already experienced and created in your journey.
Yeah, so when I was 19 years old, I really leaned on my parents, and they were able to help me purchase my first duplex. However, when I purchased that first duplex, I did all of that with my own money and my own credit. And I had hustled, didn't spend any money, never went out with any friends, was extremely conservative. And I was like, man, is this how it's going to have to be for everything? And I knew that there was a different way. My parents got me connected with a mentor and absolutely just changed my mindset of realizing I don't have to do this on my own. There's so many people in this world that can help me to grow and have my floor grow to their ceiling or even further. So since then, I got mentorship with David and Katie Marie, and I have purchased 45 rental properties with none of my own money, out of pocket, and none of my own credit used. And it was extremely simple. I know they already mentioned in the introduction, but I've instantly stepped into multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars in equity and also cash overflow, which I'm able to live off of now and support myself and my family.
Man, isn't that what life's about? To live free,
Yeah.
right? Like you said, without the limits, without trading time for money, not living your dreams, but literally have the freedom and abundance to design your life with the one who designed you.
Yeah.
To partner and co-create with the creator himself that created you, to literally wake up each day and say, what are we doing today, and not have the limitations, man. And so you're a shining example of that, and it's available for everyone. And that's why we're doing this, and for you, not just them to hear from us, but from you and so many others, that if you're coachable and teachable. So let's hit on that, the key steps, man. Everybody's here waiting to know, like, give me the recipe, give me the recipe. What are the steps? Like, how did you actually do that? What were the practical steps? What was the recipe? I know you mentioned step one, which we tell everyone is the key and most important step, is get not just a mentor, get the right mentor.
Yeah.
So for him, Caleb specifically, and his parents, we've been their mentors, and it's incredible what they've been able to do. And but whether it's us or someone else, get a mentor, and more specifically, get the right mentor. My dad always told me when I was growing up, he said, listen, to have uncommon radical success in life, in the area of life, is one of the simplest things you can ever do. He said, if you want to be radically, uncommonly successful in the restaurant business, just do one thing. Not 100 things, do one thing. Find the most successful restaurant entrepreneur that started a restaurant, started multiple restaurants, and has been the most successful, and they're willing to teach you everything they know and just be a sponge, be coachable and teachable, and do exactly what they tell you to do without excuses, without limiting beliefs, without listening to the opinions of other friends and family and people who don't have the experience and results that they have. Just do that one thing, son. That's what he told me. Marriage. You want to have an uncommon, radically successful marriage? Simple. Find the most flourishing, amazing marriage that's been around a long time, and they have the most amazing marriage, and just be coachable and teachable and ask all the questions and do what they tell you. Don't listen to the people who have multiple failed marriages. They're going to tell you all the reasons why not to get married. Hello, can I get a witness? They're going to tell you all the reasons of what's wrong, the problem with marriage, how stressful, why you don't want to, or they're just going to tell you all the ways not to do it, which is, there is wisdom in that, but you need to know not only what not to do, you also need to know what to do to create the desired result of abundance. So whether it's marriage, health, business, in this case, financial freedom, right? You did what I did years ago before we met. I desired financial freedom. I wanted money to work for me not work for money, so that my future wife and children and family, we could live life full time, that she would never have to trade time for money a day in her life. She could fully pursue her dreams, unrestrained, unlimited, all the days of her life. And me to be there physically and mentally and financially present to be the wind in her sails to live her dreams. So I did the first thing that you did. I got the right mentor to show me how to move in that direction who already had those results. And so your parents have done it, you've done it. We're all a product of the process, right? We're a product of that environment. So you've already dropped the first key and most important step of the recipe. Hit the rest of it from there. You did get mentors. In this case, it was us. But what were the actual steps of you sourcing these properties? They were off-market properties, portfolios of properties, getting the funding for them, not having to have any money or credit. Like, how did you find the properties, source the properties? How did you get them funded? How did you step into owning so many properties so quickly and being so young and early in your journey with not just finding the properties and getting them funded, but also figuring out who or how to actually manage a portfolio of this many properties?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And I just want to highlight one thing that you said was getting a mentor. And I know I've already touched on this, but not only do you want to get a mentor, but you want to get a mentor who's going to encourage you so much. Somebody who's going to tell you all the things that you can do and remove those limiting beliefs from your mind of, I can't do this because of this, because you can. I mean, you can look at me as an example. I was 20 years old when I bought these properties. I had a simple job where I was making roughly $30,000 a year, and I hustled, and that's really low amount of money and income coming in. So leveraging other people, leveraging a mentor who's going to encourage you. So I just really wanted to highlight that. That's something that's so important to your success, and it's going to absolutely catapult you. So I know that wasn't part of your question, but can you rephrase your question one last time?
Totally. The key steps. Yeah. So step one, absolutely get a mentor. You got to do that as step one, the right mentor. And then from there, the practical steps of you actually, how did you source these properties?
Yeah.
And how did you get funding for the properties with none of your credit, none of your own money?
Of course.
How do you manage all of these properties, or who and how? But we can take those one at a time. So first is, how did you source and find these off-market great opportunities of properties?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I was able to leverage social media. I didn't have to pay for any marketing tactics. My mentor, again, David and Katie Marie, really gave me awesome suggestions to get out of my shell and make connections and build relationships with people. So I began to build relationships with real estate agents, wholesalers, and I got my deals through Facebook, through different relationships that I've built. And just by a communication and a conversation between myself and them, we were able to put a deal together. Your second question was, how do we raise that money? So I leveraged that money from other private investors, people that I didn't even have connections with, but I made the connection with David and Katie Marie, who had the connections for the money. And look at that. I didn't have to go reach out to any of the private lenders. I didn't have to have the conversations. I didn't have to tell them all of the financials. And he set it up and we were good to go. It's that simple, guys. It's that simple. It doesn't have to go any deeper. It's so easy and simple. It's amazing.
Man, I'm so glad you're highlighting the simplicity. That's why our company's called Simplified Investing, right? Is because it is so simple that most times people are just in their own way, right?
Yep.
That's the thing. It's like they're overanalyzing it, overcomplicating it. It's so simple, right? And so you've done a great job of that, of just following the simple recipe, and other people are like, it can't be that simple. And they're trying to reinvent the wheel, and they're trying to overanalyze instead of just following the simple process like you've done. So you posted on Facebook. You actually found both of these properties on Facebook by making a post. What did you say in that post? Literally the recipe. People can copy and paste what you said and start posting out there right now today on their own Facebook and different Facebook groups where people gather, in real estate groups and yard sale groups. What did the post actually say that you posted on Facebook?
Yeah. So again, it was extremely simple. Of my partners and I are looking to buy properties, and you don't even have to say my partners. You can just say, I'm looking to buy investment properties in this area, in this price range. And then basically you just put it out there and you wait for people to come and respond to you.
Who
Now
you
you keep an
know.
eye out. Sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
And also, you probably said something along the lines of, because I know another part we always talk about is putting in there. So if you or anyone you know own properties that are open to potentially selling, please message me, right?
Right.
Something like that. So on the post that you made, someone responded to you or commented on it, and they didn't even own the properties, but they knew someone. Again, leveraging, guys. It was someone that saw Caleb's post that said, I know a guy who owns a bunch of properties in town, one of which I think he might be open to selling, which was a 16-unit apartment complex in 2 buildings, correct?
Yep.
It was not for sale. It was off market. You guys, if you're listening to this, because you're like, oh, so much competition. This is how you eliminate competition.
Yeah.
You create your own economy and you buy properties that are not for sale. You guys, zero competition. So anyway, that's what you did. You immediately responded to them. Yes, I'm interested. Put me in touch with them. You got in touch with them and got the asking price, his asking price, the current rent roll. And then you forwarded that over to me in a text message. And the numbers were so good and the opportunity that we stepped in from there and immediately got it under contract, for you and with you and went from there. And so, and then on the second property, the portfolio of 29 units total, 9 properties, 29 units total, was one deal off market, not for sale, through Facebook. But that was someone else had actually made a post on Facebook, right? That you saw. Can you say a little bit about that? About what the post was about, and then how you took action to engage, get the right information, and get it under contract?
Yeah. So the post was in a local real estate investing Facebook group here in Erie, Pennsylvania. And I had already had a relationship with this person. And I just want to say one quick thing is real estate is a relationship business. Relationships are the most important thing in this business. And so instantly when she put out that post, I responded. I think it was literally within 10 minutes. I responded. I got the financials and sent them over to David. But because we had a relationship with them, we had a step up on everybody simply because, again, that relationships are so key in this business, guys.
And that's so powerful.
Yeah.
You guys, I hope you're taking notes. Pause, take notes. Anyone can do this. You guys, every step that he's shown you so far, can you do this? Yes, you can send a text message. You can make a Facebook post. You can respond to someone's Facebook post. Now, this individual, and so the other lesson, you guys, is get in Facebook real estate groups in your market, right? And just start listening and learning and engaging and seeing what's going on. Get in the mix. If you want to run a 4-minute mile, what do? Hang out with people who run 4-minute miles. If you want to become financially free, get in the room with people in a virtual room, in-person rooms with people who are already doing what you want to do. And it will accelerate you from where you're at to where you want to be. Now, this person, though, that posted, so be present, get in the Facebook real estate groups, get in the rooms. But this person, she was an agent, correct?
Yes.
She was a realtor. You guys, this was an off-market property, okay? So even realtors are a great channel of relationships that you can leverage to access off-market properties. And so this portfolio of 29 units was not on the market publicly, was not even listed for sale. She made a post in a private Facebook group, real estate group, it's a free group, that he saw. And then the key was he acted immediately, commented, said, hey, I'm interested. Can I get the information on the financials? There was so much interest on it because of the price and the properties and what it was. It was turnkey, fully rented. Both these properties were turnkey, fully rented. We didn't have to go in and it was already there with tenants in place paying money. That's called the abundance is already flowing, that river. Just get your pipe out and stick it in and let it start flowing into your household. Yeah. Can I get a witness? Well, does that excite you? This is all you got to do. So here's the thing. Literally, that's what he did. But here's the key. You have write this down in your notes. You have to take fast, immediate action. The better the opportunity, the shorter of time it's going to exist anywhere, right? That's just common sense. So think about that. Caleb didn't get in his own way and think, oh, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough knowledge. I don't know enough people. This is, $1 million price. Who am I? No, he took immediate action and did what he could do, cast the net, right? He did everything he could do within his power. You got to do that. He said, hey, interested, please send me the financials. And when she did, and he saw all the comments, there was a lot of activity, a lot of interest. He let me know that when he texted me hey, here's the asking price, here's how many units, here's the current rent amount coming in. They're asking $1 million. And there's a lot of interest already. Based on that, just that little bit of amount of information he forwarded in a text message to me was enough for me to say, let's put a full $1 million cash offer on it right now. And we did. And it went under contract. You guys, we just eliminated all competition. Everybody else who was interested never even got a chance to even look at the financials and digest them and even make an offer. What's the takeaway lesson for you on that point? The point is, again, take immediate action like he did, and then leverage someone who has the capacity of knowledge and resources and access to resources to where if it's a good enough opportunity, they have the capability, the willingness and ability to immediately right now secure our right to purchase that property, which we did. And we even pivoted after we already secured our right to purchase it under contract. While we were under contract, we had a skillful conversation with the sellers and pivoted and rolled it into a seller financing. Before we closed it, changed it to seller financing where the sellers actually financed the bulk of the purchase. So we didn't even have to come up with that much money, which we sourced from other people. So anyway, I wanted to highlight that. Again, the simplicity of it. Anyone can do what you've done, right? And it's simple, but you got to do it properly in the right order and then the right immediate action steps there.
And the thing is, there are so many people who probably know someone who's in real estate investing, or deals come along through conversations on a golf course. And the difference is most people don't believe that something like this is possible. And so, Caleb, you at early 20s, like right at the beginning of 20, you believed that it was possible, because if you don't even believe something is possible, you're absolutely not going to take the right steps. You're not going to take any steps, and you're definitely not going to take them quickly. It's just like, oh, that's a great opportunity for somebody, but I'm this old, I have this amount of money, I have this credit. People are constantly disqualifying themselves. So I would love for you to just touch on 3 main takeaways that you have brought with you from this whole time that we've been in mentor-mentee relationship. 3 takeaways or 3 mindset shifts, because I've honestly rarely seen someone who's so open and so ready to do what is necessary. And again, like, everything has been so simple, but yet having that proper mentality is what actually allowed you to take those actions. So could you share 3 takeaways with us and everybody watching?
Yeah, so that's great. So I mean, 3 takeaways. I probably could talk for hours, honestly, about how much my life has been changed. Not only like the way I look at really everything in life has just changed. I look on the positive side of things for everything now. But one thing I've really taken away as well is I've removed all negative mindsets and outlooks on almost everything in my life. Because who wants negativity in their life? Like, raise your hand if you've had negativity and you're like, man, this is horrible. I don't want this. Get it out of here, right? So we want that negativity out of here. We only want the positive. And so when I removed all the negative and I brought in the positive, I welcomed the positive, I saw all these doors begin to open up. All these opportunities begin to open up. And I was not even having to work as much, just because I changed my mindset of, this is for me. I'm able to have this. God's given me this opportunity. God's given me the resources. And I'm now just going to be a vessel. I'm just going to be stepping into what he's given me and what he's, put on my life. So those are 2 things. But I mean, a third thing is I've noticed my relationship with my wife, not that it was ever bad, it was always awesome. But now, like, it's affecting my personal life more than just my business. Like, come on, who doesn't want every single area of their life to grow and just be the best it possibly can? So my marriage is absolutely so strong. I love my wife every single day, even more and more and more. which is mind blowing that I can love my wife even more than I did yesterday. But I do. And I mean, my relationship with Jesus is growing. It's just, I mean, I could keep going on and on and on, but it has just absolutely shifted my life. And I have no limiting beliefs on my life just because of the encouragement from David and Katie Marie while they have been my mentors, and they still are my mentors. And I never, ever want to step out of them not being my mentors because they continually encourage me and make me grow and push me and challenge me to be the best I possibly can.
That's so
Man, I
powerful.
love that. And
Wow.
it's great that we're recording this. We'll be able to look back each year and,
Yeah.
once you've got, it's going to be limitless where you continue to go and the impact you continue to have on people's lives. And you're 21 years old, you own 45 rentals already that are great cash flowing properties with great equity. Just it's multiplying wealth already for you and your family and your legacy and the impact and all of that. And you've already hit on it. Riches flow through relationships. One thing I want to highlight for everyone listening to this, because someone might be listening and be like, I have zero interest in real estate. Here's why you need to own real estate is because real estate is not, it's not about real estate. It's about you and your dreams and what Caleb mentioned, your marriage and your life, having the freedom and abundance of time and money to go live that life with no limits that God has available for you. Real estate's just the vehicle. Like, are you super passionate about the car in your garage? You just stare at it all day like, man, this is like, you might enjoy your car, but what's more exciting than the car itself is where it takes you. Like we take ours out to the beach here in Florida with our family, the conversations in the car ride there and the adventures and the journey and the destinations that it takes us to. That's the most, I mean, we really like our car. It's really cool and nice and fun, but that pales in comparison to the rich experiences of the places that it gets to take us. That's how you got to see real estate. Real estate is the vehicle. A mentor, the right mentor, is the co-pilot. And in some cases and times, pilot as well with you. Piloting, co-piloting with you in the vehicle to go from where you're at right now in your life to where you dream to be and beyond where you even knew you could be. So, Caleb, would you say if several years ago someone would have told you at 18 years old that you would be sitting here today at 21 years old, financially free, living life full time because of how you've positioned yourself, right? You positioned yourself with the right mentors, then you position yourself through proper being coachable and teachable, taking the right actions, you position yourself in ownership of these income producing assets. The life that you're living now in your marriage you mentioned and just your time freedom and financial freedom, like would that have been hard for you to believe? Would you have believed it? Would you have been like, yeah, that'll probably happen? Like, what do you think your thought would have been, the younger, older version of you before you learned these mindset shifts you had to do and take the limits off your mind and those things to be already experiencing the freedom and abundance that you're already experiencing?
Yeah, so I probably honestly would have laughed because back then I had, again, limiting beliefs on my life that I could only go so far, that I could only go to college and have a 9 to 5 job and be stuck to that. But my mind again has been totally shifted. And no, I would have never expected to be where I'm at now. I'm super blessed and super thankful.
Man, that's incredible. And one other huge thing I want you guys to hear through this whole session, looking at Caleb's life, it's been the same for us. Like we've been able to live life full time for many years now and help many people. But here's the real point of real estate being the vehicle. Caleb, at 21 years old, is already being asked and invited to speak on stages and lead and teach people of all ages, younger people, decades older than him with more life experience. But you know what? They want what he has, the freedom and abundance. He was recently asked to speak on a summit, literally speaking to people who are teaching them. He was the keynote speaker at 21 years old, teaching people who are already millionaires and multimillionaires what he knows and what he's done. They are so intrigued by the value that he has. What does that mean for you? What it means is there's so much untapped potential inside of you that God wants to unlock and unleash you to pour you out in new and unprecedented ways to the world so that other people can be unlocked and unleashed through your life. But it does take you walking through the open door, right? Just like Caleb did. And you'll see in the description under the show notes here, links and ways to connect with us, connect with Caleb, so that he can help you, we can help you, we can lock arms with you to whatever degree that you want to and you're willing and ready. That's an option for you. That's not the purpose of this segment, but we want to let you know that's there. The purpose of this is to educate you and encourage you, inspire you, and also teach you He literally gave you the recipe, the practical steps today of how to go out and source the properties, how he got them funded, right? And then, so let's hit on this one last thing and then any closing remarks you guys have. Because I know people are listening. They're like, okay, you found the properties. I got that. Now you got the money through the other people who had access to the money. I got that just through conversations. It's all conversation. But then what? How do you manage? Like, who's managing? How do you find somebody to manage? Do you manage it to somebody? So can you just hit like the answer in your journey? What has that looked like on actual managing the properties, that process and what you've done and decided there?
Yeah, so here locally, we own 16 here locally where I live in Erie, Pennsylvania, and then 29 out of town, about an hour and 15 minutes away. Now, when we purchased these properties, I knew the 16 units was going to be very easy to manage. Again, that's the property here locally. But the 29 units, I was a little nervous. I still had those limiting beliefs of how am I going to manage this? And so I leaned on David and Katie Marie, and they really encouraged me and told me that it's going to be okay and that it's actually going to be easier than what we had expected. And so we outsourced a local runner who manages locally. I am the person who's managing remotely. And all together for all 45 units, I want you right now to pause and think of how many hours per week you think that I spend managing, doing the maintenance and management, talking to all 45 tenants if they reach out. And now that you're coming back, it's 2 hours a week. 2 hours a week. Come on, how easy is that? Like, you can have a full-time job and do these 45 units and it not even affect you, not even take from family time, not even take from, I mean, really anything. So just a word of encouragement. I mean, it's so much more easy, it's so much more simpler than you think once you remove those limiting beliefs in your life of why you can't do something.
Man, I'm so glad you
good.
highlighted that for everyone to know, because most people would never guess that, right? They
No.
would think, oh man, I don't want to man. But when you have the right process, right? So he was able to leverage our years of experience to give him some key processes and technology and a process to source the right people, boots on the ground, where he can manage remotely and efficiently with high leverage a portfolio of properties, and he's just getting started. We're going to continue to buy more and more. He's going to buy more and more. We're going to buy more together. But that's exciting, you guys. Just think about that one facet alone. By him being the property manager, that's saving, instead of us paying a property management company, that alone is saving tens of thousands of dollars a year, which is extra cash profit, right? In his pockets and our pockets, right? As the owners. So super powerful, super important.
Caleb, I would just love, as we close out, for you to talk directly to the person who is watching this video. They clicked, they stayed, they're engaged, you've intrigued them, you've inspired them. What is the unique message that you want to share with them today, whether they're excited about real estate, whether they couldn't care less about real estate? What is on your heart to share?
Yeah, so 3 things that really come on my heart are: 1, just to recap, get a mentor. Get a mentor that's going to encourage you. I 100% suggest David and Katie Marie. Not only are they going to mentor you, but they're going to change your life for the good. They're going to encourage you, and your mind is going to be you're just going to be so much happier. Like, who doesn't get happy around them? So if you're not happy watching this video, smile for me right now, please. But second thing is, actually I only have 2 points right now because I lost my third train of thought. But second thing is, I want you to imagine what your life could be if you were financially free and you had time freedom. What would that look like? What could you do? Now, what are the steps? Watch this video again. It's super simple. We just outlined it all for you. And it starts with getting the right mentor, guys. Like, this is a free video. You didn't have to pay for this. We are giving you the free key to success so you can step into life freedom and serve the world and step into limitless possibilities of positively affecting people and growing God's kingdom. So that's what I just want to encourage you on. You can do it. There's nothing holding you back. So yeah, that's what I
Absolute
want to
gold.
share.
Thank you for sharing that, Caleb. Thank you for your time today, man. You're a living example of a limitless life when you let go of limiting beliefs. And whoever you are watching this right now, I want to leave you with this thought from me too, because this might be the answer that you need to get out of your own way. Because a lot of people look at Caleb's story and are like, oh, yeah, well, that was for Caleb in his first 2 months after starting in the mentorship. He got that. You know, I've been trying to do real estate for this many months. Listen, after he got those 2 properties, he's made a number of other offers on a number of other properties since then over the last 12 months. And there hasn't been another property that he's acquired yet, even though those first 2, if that's all he required, are life-changing forever. But he's going to continue acquiring more and more. But the point is this. It's like a deck of cards. He did flip up. Aces are in there, right? The properties, but he started flipping the deck. And it happened that he got 2 aces pretty early on. But what if he would have had to go through, you know, what if we reversed it and said, well, these 2 properties were down the line. It was going to take a year or a year and a half of him looking at properties, making posts, making offers that the numbers didn't work on until he got to these. Should he stay the course and keep flipping the deck to get to the aces? Yeah, the aces are in there, but if they're toward the bottom of the deck, most people will get discouraged and give up before they get to the aces of life-changing deals and opportunities. Don't let that be you. That happens to most people. They don't have the staying power, the commitment, the consistency. But here's the cool thing. As long as you're in the game and being consistent to whatever degree, the aces are in there, the opportunities, the partners, the funding, the deals, the numbers, but it's inevitable. There's a 100% chance they're there. They're all around all day, every day. Abundance is flowing, right? You got to be in the game, in the rooms, in the conversation. Put yourself in position to win. Get out of the grandstands, off the bench by the water cooler. Get in the game of your life. We're not promised tomorrow. Get around the people who are winning and winning big. They're already doing what you want to be doing. They're already living the life you want to be living. Stay around them as close as you can. That is your answer. Because if you don't, it's like they say, you can be the hottest coal ever, but if you take it away from the fire, it's going to get cold. So your friends, the people around you might be a bucket of ice, and you're trying to be a hot coal of inspiration and going after your dreams. Never going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's biblical. God says, he who walks with the wise grows wise. A companion of fools suffers harm. It's the law of association. You become like who you hang around with. So take inventory today. Who are you spending the most time with? Because whoever those people are, it doesn't matter who they are, but who they are, it does matter. But I'm saying it doesn't matter if they're friends, family, whoever. You are catching. It's contagious. Mindsets are contagious. So you're catching their same limiting beliefs, their doubts, worries, fears, their conversation, their thoughts, their habits, in their health, relationships, finances. So when you look at your life and their lives, financially, spiritually, relationally, it's going to be pretty similar. It's going to be close in range, right? But if you're hanging around people that are living a more abundant life in those areas of life, it's inevitable. It's a matter of time, because you're going to catch their same perspectives and their beliefs, which are going to dictate your behaviors, and the behaviors and actions create the results. But it all starts with the belief, like we've hit on today. But just be encouraged, because there's somebody, you're watching this right now and you're like, I've made offers, I've tried, I've learned, nothing's happened for me yet. Keep stepping, one step at a time, one day at a time. Keep going in the direction, and don't be discouraged when you hear Caleb's story. Be encouraged that these opportunities are there for anybody who's willing to stay in the game, take consistent action. Nobody can tell when it's going to happen. Is it the first offer, the 10th, the 20th? We have a friend, Eric, who he started in real estate from scratch, was hungry, massive action taker, as diligent as they come. He made, was it 27 different? He submitted 27 different letters of intent offers on apartments complexes and got rejected every time. He was 0 for 27. And then it was on his 28th, he got a life-changing acquisition. And from then he's bought, a dozen or more. He owns a couple thousand apartment units and has only been in real estate for 3 years. But what if he would have quit after the first or second or third or the 20th or the 27th? He would have stopped just a few feet from the gold, from the life-changing financial overflow that's there waiting on you. It was waiting on him. It was waiting on Caleb. It was waiting on us. It's waiting on you. The promised land's already there. God doesn't have to build it. It's there. He's got it for you. He's inviting you into it. Move in that direction. Get the right mentor. Be consistent in the right actions. Baby, close us out.
And the biggest thing is, successful real estate investors we're all constantly making offers. We're submitting letters of intent that are sometimes rejected. And so even Eric, who is extremely successful in the multifamily space, he still has letters of intent that are rejected all the time. But the difference is knowing, like David mentioned, that the gold is there. You just have to keep stepping. And so if you stop stepping, there's a guarantee you're not going to find the gold. But if you just continue the process and stay close to people who are doing what you are desiring to do at a greater level. This was such a powerful episode. Thank you so much, Caleb, for sharing all the gold that you did. And thank you so much for watching. If you learned one thing, if you were inspired at all, I would love for you to give this video a big thumbs up and make sure you subscribe, click the little red notification bell so that you get notified when we upload a new video, and we'll see you in the next one.